Hey, good evening, and welcome back to A Place to Pause. Today, I want to talk about something that on the surface seems very practical: decluttering, cleaning out closets, sorting through boxes, getting rid of things we no longer use. But over the last few days, I've discovered that decluttering is about far more than things sitting on our shelves or in our drawers. It's about the things we're carrying inside of us as well. Recently, I've been working my way through my home, not just tidying, actually letting things go for real. Boxes that haven't been opened in years, kitchen items I forgot I owned, dishes I thought I might use one day, mugs, glasses, serving pieces, teapots, bowls, and enough kitchen gadgets to supply a small restaurant. As I sorted through everything, I found myself laughing. I came across beer mugs. I don't even drink alcohol, let alone beer. I probably never even drank beer when I bought them. Yet, somehow they ended up in my house. And there they sat, year after year, collecting dust. Taking up space, waiting for a future that never arrived. Oh my God, it made me stop and think how many things in our homes are actually attached to a version of ourselves that no longer exist. I found that question very intriguing. Maybe it was the person we thought we'd become. Maybe it was a hobby we're going to start, like as if I was going to start drinking beer. Maybe it was a dream we once had. You know, people go and buy all that art stuff and easels and paint and never end up painting. But at least we had the dream. Maybe it was simply a different season of our lives. But we kept holding on to these things. And I know I have bins of clothes up in my closet that I have absolutely not seen the light of day in over 10 years. Yet, we keep holding on. Not because we need it, but because we're attached to the story behind it, or one we may make up for the future use of it. That's where I think decluttering gets emotional, because suddenly it isn't about mugs or dishes. It's about letting things go. For me, part of this process has also involved belongings that were my mom's. So, my mom passed away 4 years ago this July 4th. And while everyone is celebrating that day, I do my best to stay at peace and to be quiet. And that's 4 years. So, there's still things that of hers that are here. Not because I need them, not because I use them, but because sometimes grief takes longer to sort through than a closet. Sometimes we hold on because we're not ready. And sometimes we hold on because every object feels like a memory. But lately I've realized something important. The memory doesn't live in an object or a scarf or a hat. The memory lives in us, in me, in you. I don't need to keep every item in order to keep the love. I don't need to keep every possession in order to honor her life. And that realization has been incredibly freeing. It feels like I've lost about 5,000 pounds off my shoulders. And as I've been moving things out of my home, I've noticed something unexpected. I actually feel lighter. Not physically, but emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. Every box that leaves the house seems to create a little more breathing room, a little more peace, a little more clarity. It's almost as though the house and the heart are connected. When one becomes crowded, so does the other. And when one begins to clear, the other often follows. Maybe you've experienced this too. Maybe you have a room filled with things you haven't looked at in years. Maybe you have a closet or closets packed with clothes that no longer fit your life, and that person that wore them doesn't even exist anymore. Maybe you have boxes tucked away that you've moved from house to house like I have, never even opening them. Or maybe what you're carrying isn't physical at all. Maybe it's nothing that's tangible. Maybe it's guilt. Maybe it's regret. Maybe it's old expectations. Maybe it's responsibilities that no longer belong to you. Maybe it's a story you've been telling yourself for years. Whatever it is. I think many of us reach a point where we realize we can no longer carry everything. Something has to be released. Something has to be set down, and something has to go. And it's not because it was bad, nor because it wasn't valuable, but because it no longer belongs in the life we're creating, the version of who we are now. And perhaps that's the real purpose of decluttering. Not creating a perfect home, not creating a picture-perfect pantry, not creating magazine-worthy selfies. Maybe it's just about creating room and space, giving ourselves a clear field and path, room to think, maybe even more space to dream, more space to rest, room for new opportunities to come, maybe even new relationships, friends, partners, room for growth in yourself, in your home, in your space, just room for whatever may come next. And as I look around my house these days, I still see plenty of work ahead. Believe me, there's so much that still has to go, and I look at them and say, do I really need 3 of those things? Do I really need 3 of the same statue? I love them, but no, I don't need 3. You know, there's still cupboards to organize and shelves to sort through. There's still some boxes to open, and I have to make decisions about what's in those boxes. But for the first time in a long time, that doesn't feel overwhelming. It actually feels, I feel a little hopeful. Well, actually, I feel a lot hopeful, because every item leaving this house is making space for something new. And maybe that's true in our lives as well. Sometimes, before something new can enter our lives, we have to create the room for it. We have to loosen our grip on what was. We have to stop carrying what no longer serves us. We have to trust that an empty shelf isn't a loss and doesn't need to be filled. It's an invitation. So today, I want to leave you with a simple question. What are you holding on to that no longer belongs in this season of your life, in this version of who you are, matured, more healed, understanding of yourself better, perhaps? It might be sitting on a shelf, or it might be sitting in your heart. Either way, perhaps it's time to gently let it go. Not with guilt, not with fear, not with regrets, but with gratitude and kindness, thanking it for the role it's played, and making room for whatever comes next. Take a breath, take a pause, and be gentle with yourself. Until next time, thank you for spending your time with me. And if this episode helped you and you feel it can help anyone else, please subscribe to the channel and share the videos. I'll see you in the next episode. Nyawagoa, Gonadunkwa, Goanagarde. Thank you. I love you. Shirley.